Hey, in this video today, I would like to talk about Tanit. This is Tanit. It's really going to be about my experience with Tanit, how I use Tanit in my energy healing practices, and how I believe that her energy can help you as well. So, if you're new to my channel, I'm Linda. I am an energy healer, and on my channel, I talk a lot about the Ankh that I work with in my practice because the Ankh is a really beautiful tool to use in your own healing practice and to help you clear your energetic blocks from your system. If you're familiar with energy healing, you know that we all store our trauma, pain, emotions in our energetic body in the form of heavier energy, denser energy, energetic blocks. Energy healing is a way to help you clear those blocks from your system so you will feel lighter, you feel happier, you just feel better in your skin overall. And that's why I do what I do. And that's why my channel and also why this video. So this is Tanit. If you've heard the name Tanit before, you've seen the shape Tanit before. She was an ancient goddess in Carthage. She was mostly seen as the goddess of protection, of fertility, of the moon. It's really the embodiment of the feminine energy, the feminine principle. And what's so beautiful about it, when I discovered Tanit in this form, so crystalline shape of Tanit, I had no idea who Tanit was. So through some strange synchronicity, I found her on the day of my birthday because I felt I needed to be at a gathering about crystalline ankhs. And what happened was I actually discovered Tanit there. And I had a really strong connection to the energy. And later on, I realized why I found her. And now I know how I can, and I am using her in my healing practices. Also, if you've seen the Ankh energy healing demonstration session that I've posted on my channel recently, you may have noticed that in that session, I also used Tanit for a while. So the gathering I mentioned earlier was a gathering about crystalline Ankhs. So the Ankh I used from the start, when I started my Ankh journey, was a brass Ankh. And later on, I also got acquainted with the crystalline form of the Ankh. And I was super interested in that. And I really had a strong feeling, oh my God, I need to be there. And so at one point, we were all sitting there, and one of the facilitators was grabbing a bag with like a crystal version of Tanit in there. And I was sitting next to her. She pulled it out of the bag, and I suddenly felt this wave of energy just rushing through my crown, down my body. And it sparked some strange sense of like an emotion that came up, and I just felt a very strong reaction. And then I said, can I hold Tanit in my hand? And she put Tanit in my hand, and I suddenly felt such a strong, overwhelming sensation that is a little bit hard to explain, of course, but it was really beautiful. And I just felt there's something here that I did not know about, and felt very strongly this is why I needed to be here today. And so after the session at the end of the day, I thought there's some reason I found Tanit today. I think it took about half a year before I figured out why and what her purpose was in my practices. What I really love about Tanit, as you can see in the shape and also feel in the energy, is that this is the female embodiment of the Ankh, basically. So the Ankh obviously has uh, the the arms, the loop, and then the leg, which is the feminine and the masculine. But as you can see, Tanit is kind of the feminine embodiment of the Ankh, because the loop would represent the feminine principle, even the womb, you can say in some cases, or people refer to it that way. Also the connection to the divine, so the intuitive powers. And the other side of the Ankh is obviously the masculine principle, and in this case, it's both feminine. And the opposite of the feminine embodiment of the Ankh would be the Christian cross, which is the masculine embodiment, which has two sticks, no circular, no feminine principle. That's the masculine embodiment maybe of the Ankh. And this would be the feminine principle, the feminine embodiment of the Ankh. And that's also how I experienced Tanit in my sessions. So what you can see in the session that I shared on my channel, it's the energy of Tanit compared to the Ankh is very soft. It's very gentle. And I don't use it in all my sessions, but sometimes I only use Tanit in my sessions. And sometimes I add Tanit to the session, sometimes I don't use it. But what Tanit is really beautiful for is that when I feel there's a spot in the body that needs softening, that needs gentleness, that needs that feminine, soft, gentle energy for healing, Tanit's really amazing. And because as women, we store a lot of conditioning, pain, ancestral trauma, collective trauma, personal trauma from this lifetime in our uterus. And Tan is a really beautiful shape to help us heal that. So that's why I really love Tanit and why I've come to really appreciate Tanit. And I feel that when it comes to energy work and energy healing, really the way to really fully understand what energy work can do for you and how energy healing can help you is through your own experience. So please don't take it from me. Just go experiment yourself. Get a practice, quiet your mind, learn to feel into the body, learn to use energy healing for your benefit, for supporting your well-being, because energy healing is accessible to anyone. Yeah, if you're interested in energy healing, what it can do for you, and you want to just know more about it, check out some other videos on my channel. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I hope you have a great day.